Welcome to another video by Show and Tell Books. I'm Chantel, and for this week's Sizzling Sunday read, we're going to be talking about Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. I think this is actually going to be really fun. One, because it's currently 11 o'clock, the night before I'm supposed to post this, and I haven't filmed nor edited or done anything for this. I just finished the book, so that's part of the reason I'm so behind on this game. So this is gonna be fun. For those who don't know, Icebreaker is a BookTok sensation. It kind of popped up last year. It's a hockey, ice skating, sports romance, so it's literally just like BookTok's Kryptonite. Take that with a grain of salt. I had it on my list kind of for a while, then I took it off, then I put it back on, simply because I kept hearing mixed reviews. There are certain things I don't personally love when I read smut books, and I had a lot of friends say maybe this was borderline of something I'd like, something I wouldn't like. But I finally broke down and read it, and I don't regret reading it. We'll leave it at that. For those who don't know, Icebreaker tells the story of Anastasia. She's the ice skater. She is bound and determined to skate for the US. And everything's mostly set. You know, her partner didn't get into the same college as she did, so she had to find a new partner. And they're doing fine. Professionally, they're doing great. Until a mishap at their college rink happens, and Dean decides that the hockey team and the figure skating team needs to share the same rink. And she's not happy about that because she hates hockey players. She's bound and determined nothing's gonna like distract her from her goal, and she sticks to that until she meets Nate. He's, you know, the captain of the hockey team, of course. And she does not get along with him. He, though, likes her. He likes how feisty she is, and he swears he's gonna win her over. And so they keep having to run into each other because they're sharing the same rink. And then when Anastasia's partner gets hurt, he also is benched due to some reasons that you'll find out if you read the book. But he volunteers to kind of help her train, so that way the 8 weeks that the partner's out, she can keep practicing. And because of that, you know, they slowly start to fall in love because it's a romance book. And then a bunch of other stuff happens, and it mostly is just them trying to figure out if love is worth it and if there's a way they both can achieve their goals without sacrificing the other person. And so it's kind of interesting. Let's start off with the parts I was not a huge fan of. One, you can tell this is a debut novel for a lot of reasons. One of the biggest ones is some the grammar or the wordage. There were a lot of grammatical issues I found. You can also tell it's definitely a debut because of the massive info dumps that happen. Right at the beginning, you get introduced to 30 characters, and I hate when novelists do this. And again, it's kind of a sign of a immature writing style within an author, usually because they are a debut novel. I was reading some reviews after I finished the book, and someone had pointed out that, and I completely agree, it's as if Grace already knew she was gonna write 6 books, and so she decided to literally name every character possible so she could have follow-up series after that. So that's hard to read when you're starting because you're trying to pay attention to the 2 main characters, but then she also has this F-buddy that she's constantly with, and then her best friend, and then the partner, and there's just a lot of characters going on, so it's tricky to keep track of the bazillions of characters that get named throughout the entire novel. It's not just in the beginning. So that was kind of tricky. Another thing I wasn't super a fan of is it's a pretty long book. Quite frankly, didn't need to be as long as it was. I think certain things could have been trimmed or taken out entirely. I felt like so much happened and nothing happened at the same time. It's kind of like one of those instances where in order to keep the reader reading, the author decides to just keep throwing curveball after curveball after curveball. And as a reader, you're sitting there and you're like, okay, this is a lot going on. And maybe it keeps you flipping pages, but for the most part, it got to the point, at least for me, where one thing happened and then another thing happened. And I just was like, all right, and we're moving on. It didn't really shock me, and it didn't really give me that cliffhanger kind of feel. It was just more and there's another thing off the checklist. We can talk about the things I did like. I really liked Nathan as the main love interest. I also really liked that Hannah Grace kind of developed him as a well-rounded character, and he obviously has issues, but she used those as an opportunity to kind of pull the couple together throughout the book instead of it being this glaring, obviously not great flaw, if that makes sense. Anastasia bothered me. It's not really a positive thing, that's a negative thing, but you know, whatever. But she bothered me. But she did get better towards the end of the book. He got better towards the end of the book. I am glad I finished it. Obviously, this is a smut book. BookTok basically exclusively promotes smut books. So know that going into this, kind of why I hesitated for so long. I kind of have a soft place in my heart for hockey romance and figure skating. I grew up ice skating in the way of like, I would go regularly to a rink and play, not like I took lessons or anything. Getting to the smut portion of this. So first of all, I'll start with, I would rate this as a 6 on our spice scale. It is very spicy. There's one scene towards the beginning. Those who have read it, it's the Uber scene. If you read it, come back to this because I'm still trying to figure out the logistics of that entire scene. Like, it's a smut scene. They're in an Uber with a bunch of their friends. They're in the back seat. She's on his lap because there's not enough spots for everyone. And, you know, they have a scene. And I can't grasp how that happened because how is there no one else in the back seat with them? Not just that, I just am like, boundaries, people. There are certain things that even if your friends aren't entirely paying attention to you, are you sure you want to be doing that in an Uber? Anyway, I'm okay with smut if it builds the plot and the relationship. And the first half of the book, it's purely smut. And there's not a whole lot of conversations going on between the two characters. Or there is, but Anastasia isn't really willing to listen. She's defending Aaron, her partner, a lot more than I think she should have. Towards the end, it does get better because she starts to catch feelings for him. And so the physicality is used as a complement to the burgeoning trust between them, which is what I do like, is when it's used as an asset, not necessarily as a avoidance topic, I guess, or as a way to just not talk about anything that can actually build a relationship. And again, that's my personal thought, but that was kind of, I think, the tricky thing with this is it was purely physical for about 70% of the book. And then the last bit is when they were able to use their physicality to actually build their relationship. I guess moral of the story, overall, like, I don't regret reading this. I liked it. I was pleasantly surprised, actually. I thought it was going to be a lot worse than it was. I think I'm intrigued enough to read book 2, which comes out this year. It's about one of the characters, the bazillion of characters that you get introduced to, but at least it's Henry and he was adorable. So I'm excited about that. Oh, without spoiling anything, I will tell you, I hated the epilogue. I did not think it was necessary. I think an epilogue was necessary. What she particularly wrote in her epilogue, I did not like. It includes a trope that I despise. If you've seen some of our other videos, that might give some spoilers away, but not really because it's an epilogue. I didn't like that. I also feel like it was a total cop-out, but overall, if hockey romances are your thing, if smut books are your thing, if you kind of want a book that gives you Ice Princess meets NFL in college vibes, which I guess is a hockey romance book, but moral of the story is, like, I wouldn't not recommend it. So if you're looking for like something simple and mostly smut, not a lot of like actual material, this one's it. They have a cute romance. They talk about a lot of things that I really appreciated. So that's Icebreakers by Hannah Grace for you. Thank you for watching this probably train wreck of a video. If there's another smut book that you want either Amber or I to review or look at or read, let us know in a comment. Don't forget to like and subscribe and watch another video. I will see you guys next time, I guess. Bye.